Hello everybody, we are here in Venice at le Stanze della Fotografia, and it's my pleasure to introduce Anne Morin, curator of this important show of Horst P. Maybe I would like to start about the title of this exhibition. Anne.
The geometry of grace is exactly the idea of the oxymoron, I would say, which is present in every single picture in Horst's work. He always takes one element and its contrary. Geometry, organicity, black, white, emptiness, fullness, and all that poetry. Every single picture is at the crossroad of both elements. And that means that we are not in one side, we are not in the other side, we are just in the middle. So each picture is a narration of something we don't really know about. And I think that also the idea of geometry implicates a resonance with these main influences, which comes from the classical culture, which comes from the Bauhaus, which is settled on proportion, and of course the architecture while he was working with Le Corbusier.
Well, in the exhibition there are a lot of pictures, like maybe 3,000 or more. Well, and all pictures arrive from the state of Horst P. And in the exhibition there are a lot of vintage prints. Why the vintage prints are very important?
I know you know the reply. For us it's important to get into the original material, that poetry which surrounds all the vintage prints. Everything comes from the estates, it's clear. I really wanted to be or to face all that, what Walter Benjamin would have called the aura of the object, which tells, which is really powerful in terms of transmission of the intention of the photographer. There's few modern prints. We were, of course, obliged to, because Horst worked in color with transparencies. But what we've been doing is getting really deep into his archive. Not just the surface of the iconic pictures, but what else? And in the exhibition, I would say that most of half part is unseen, unpublished. It's new. It's here for the first time at Le Stanze della Fotografia. And what I'm proud of is this exhibition comes right after Mapplethorpe, who was a clear heir of Horst.
Yeah. Thank you, Anne. Well, in the display of the exhibition, there are a lot of chapters. Can you describe the chapters of the show?
Yes, I think that this exhibition is built as, I would say, maybe a tree. You have the main part, which is composed by the three main influences we've been talking about, which is the Bauhaus, the classical, and the Mathesis, which is the architecture. And I would say that these three threads all together are talking about Phi. Phi was 1.618, the divine proportion. And then we have some other chapters, more peripheral. Of course, how we cannot begin the exhibition with Vogue. Vogue was the most important window for Horst, and Condé Nast's visionary on his work was so important. Then we have others, I would say, experimental or meditative way of getting into his own language. I would say there's an inventory of forms, which is patterned from nature from 1946. And we have two sections which are really just done for Venice, which is, of course, the moment when he was in Venice in 1947, during the Mostra and during the Biennale, and a wink to Cy Twombly, who was living at that time in 1960s in Rome, and Horst did that pictures that we discover here for the first time.